everyone, well, tomorrow is essentially not today, but happy St. Patrick's Day. By the time you see this vlog, it will have passed. Anyway, I will show you my outfit, which I am very proud of today. It's so nice, if I do say so myself, very on theme. Remember what I was saying about wanting to dress more on theme? This is on theme, so I'm very happy. I have just filmed a short for you all, so you'll see it before this, I'm sure. And I am now, by the way, before I keep interjecting my own self, by the way, the surprise happened today, which after this video, I will put it in. I filmed it this morning. Can you tell I need to calm down? This morning, the second surprise that I mentioned to you in the previous vlog that was coming happened this morning, which as soon as I finish talking to you here and showing you my outfit, I'll slip that in before I head off to my family lunch today. My cousin Claudia, my dad's cousin, came and surprised us in Australia today as well, which, funny enough, is also her birthday. So talk about a birthday present going overseas. Ah, lovely. So now we have both my Uncle PJ and my cousin Claudia here staying with us, which is so perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Anyway, I'm going to show you my outfit. I have the hiccups, what's new, and then I'm going to head off to the pub in true Irish style. My Irish family are celebrating together today at the pub. Now you will see behind me there a pair of shoes that I am at the moment, considering it is almost 40 degrees, thinking I will put on instead of the heels that I have on, but these just match so well. Anyway, look how on theme my outfit is. I'm so happy with it. Green Irish top, tartan skirt, green bag, green velvet heels, and I even have a matching green velvet bow in my hair. My hair isn't perfectly straight after yesterday's sweat. I haven't debriefed you guys about yesterday. I will do that at some stage. I'm in a little bit of a hurry at the moment, so I won't do it now, but I will touch base with you about how last night went, which was in the previous vlog, which is fine. And green jewelry. I've literally got like all the green jewelry that I own in gold on to complement the look. Anyway, time to head off. I've had the air conditioning on all morning, so I'm in for a huge shock because it is not cool outside and I'm wearing a woolen skirt, but we do it for the day. Anyway, I'll see you all at the lunch. Surely you're not wearing what you have on today.
When you put on the kettle. Holy jizz.
We're a family full of surprises lately.
Oh my God. Well, I'm still in my pyjamas.
There's my grandparents. Look at the sign, eat, drink and be Irish. We're going to surprise, if you can see my dad in the front there. My auntie, she has no idea that our cousin has arrived this morning. So we'll head on in, ready? There's Auntie Jill. Surprise. Oh wait, let me go the other way.
You had a good time last night.
No way.
Surprise! Let me see this. My sister has made a cake. Remember I said that it was our cousin's birthday? Look how nice that is. It's C for her name, Claudia. Beautiful. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Very cute. Look at you with your second St. Patrick's Day. And just like that, it's lunchtime. We're at a pub, so of course I got schnitzel and also got the parmigiano. Very nice. Would you look at this? Mark got a Guinness pie and there's a bush shamrock made out of pastry at the top of it. Lovely. Look, Dad got me a little shot. Look at the size of it versus the Guinness.
Yeah, they call it a baby Guinness.
A baby Guinness, and look at his lunch. Very nice.
That's a Guinness pie.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
Sláinte, exactly. Whoops. Happy St. Patrick's Day! So we've got beautiful Irish music playing. Sorry? Yeah, yeah. I love this song.
I will by your clear crystal fountain, and nothing like you
And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Clodagh. Happy birthday, Clodagh! Can you tell I look exhausted? I mean, can you tell I'm exhausted? Sorry, from the way that I look. I can't even speak already. So today, although it looked very Irish, it did not feel very Irish because my family and I have just sat in near 40-degree heat for hours trying to celebrate Australia Day, St. Patrick's Day. Australia is not very conducive to cooler weather, for at least not for much of the year anyway. I am completely drained. Like I've just had a shower. I've washed obviously all my makeup off, and I've put my comfies on, and now decided that I would like to read you today's Lenten program before I am even more tired and cannot do it. Otherwise, I think I'll miss another day again, and I don't want to do that. But today, when I am filming this, whoops, wrong day, where are we? It is the 16th of March, the day before St. Patrick's Day, technically, the second Sunday of Lent. So I want to read this, and then afterwards, for what is left of my weekend, I would like to read my other book. Not that you can really call this a book. This is like a booklet. Yeah, a booklet. Anyway, okay, where are we for today's reflection? Oh, it's a massive one. Is it really that whole thing? It is, yeah. That is huge. Hang on, give me a second, because I'm trying to figure out whether or not I'm about to give you guys the wrong thing. I think I've got it right. There's like multiple pages, and I am assuming because it's Sunday's one. But I don't recall the previous Sunday's one being so lengthy. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I figured it out. Okay, so let's get into it. It starts off with the title, Climbing to Contemplatio. I have no idea. Anyway, all right, I'm being extra challenged today because the state of me is not conducive to good reading, but however, we will do our best. Okay. The Transfiguration tells us everything we need to know about contemplative prayer. Every Christian is capable of becoming a contemplative, but most of us don't get there in this life because we're not prepared to climb the mountain of sacrifice and obedience. The way to contemplative prayer demands discipline and detachment. Most of us are haphazard in our prayer. We make a good effort for a few days or even a few weeks, but we soon drop off. We permit the cares of life to weigh us down. We're too easily discouraged and distracted. The few who really persevere with prayer, who pray in season and out of season, indifferent to desolation, eventually reach the summit. The view at the top changes everything. They take in an amazing panorama, and they contemplate Jesus in his glory. Contemplatio is a gift freely given by God. It is not the fruit of human effort, nor a reward for human effort. But we are incapable of receiving the gift God gives us without expanding human effort. Peter and his companions were heavy with sleep, it quotes. We too will be exhausted if and when the Lord reveals his glory to us. The gospel gives the impression that the Transfiguration alters Jesus. The aspect of his face was changed. But commentators who have reached the summit of contemplative prayer locate the change elsewhere. Saint Maximus the Confessor suggests the apostles' senses were transfigured. St. Gregory Palamas writes that the apostles' understanding was illuminated. In the Transfiguration, Jesus showed himself as he really is, and he always was. The Transfiguration doesn't lift a veil covering Jesus, it lifts the veil covering the apostles. Contemplative prayer changes one's view of the world. Where others see dimly or not at all, the contemplative recognizes Jesus in events and in people. It doesn't compare to the face-to-face vision of God we will attain in heaven, but it is still something we should seek fervently. Just as he invited Peter, James, and John, Jesus invites each one of us to climb the summit. Mount Tabor is a lonely place, removed from the world's hustle and bustle. The prerequisites of I can't read, and I'm especially not when they've got Latin words thrown in. Contemplatio, are not just discipline and detachment, but also interior silence. Jesus asks us to find a few minutes of blessed solitude every day. External stillness helps foster internal recollection. In this pursuit of contemplatio, some people are called to leave the world, but contemplative prayer is not exclusive to monasteries and convents. Peter is eager to stay on the mountain, but Jesus leads them back to the plain, to their regular life. We can aspire to be contemplatives in the world amidst the noise and activity of work and family. We do not isolate ourselves. We can immerse ourselves in God while also throwing ourselves into serving our neighbor. Contemplatives attract others to Christ by exuding the peace of Christ, a peace the world cannot give. That's the Lord's parting gift to us. When we attain it, everything takes on a different hue, but to unwrap this gift, to really benefit from it, we need to foster interior silence and pray every day as circumstances permit, which in turn demands discipline and detachment and patience. Patience might be the most important thing. We must be patient with ourselves. The climb is arduous. We'll often slip and fall. We begin again. And after that, we begin again. The ascent to contemplatio requires continual metanoia. Okay. Father John Corrigan. I'm pretty sure that's an Irish name now this time. Very nice. Do you know, as I was getting towards the end of this, I was realizing that this reflection is very much similar to something that I've accepted for the first time, properly accepted in my life this year. For example, it keeps mentioning about how, you know, you need discipline to continue with your prayer, etc. And I could apply that to anything in my life. There are so many things I have stopped and started, or rather started and stopped. And I keep saying to myself, oh, you know, I started it so many times, and then I just something happens, life happens, you know, especially as an adult. There's a myriad of things that get in the way, so to speak. And just this year, I finally properly accepted that it is so normal for that to happen, and that it is such a part of life to need to learn to find your sense of discipline and how to really instill it. And that's something that I've only started to really develop in the last year, and I'm not going to be presumptuous and say fully understand, but almost mostly understand this year. So I know that last year was the first year in my life that I was very disciplined when it came to prayer, and I started making sure that instead of, you know, if I didn't feel like praying in the morning, say, oh well, and then say, oh well, I'll just do it before I go to bed, and then come the end of the day feel really tired, and then the next morning feel dreadful because I didn't pray, and then that morning go, okay, but I'm still a little bit busy this morning, I'll just double my prayer tonight, come the night, and because it's double as well, I'm just like, oh, tomorrow's another day. Do you know? And like that wouldn't always happen, but it would often happen. And then last year at the start of the year, I just sort of went, do you know what? Prayer makes me feel so, actually it was more than last year, sorry. It was the halfway through the previous year. And I remember one day getting really upset with myself and saying to myself, you know, there's always so many things that I want to do and I don't have the discipline enough to stick at it. And I remember this particular time saying to myself, enough is enough, I need to stick at this. And I went outside because it was a beautiful day and I prayed. And I remember when I first sat down on my prayer mat and put the veil on my head, and I closed my eyes, made the sign of the cross, put my hands out to pray, and I burst into tears. It was like such a homecoming, such a full circle moment of acceptance, understanding that, you know, this is something of a beautiful moment that I'm finally accepting in a proper full way, that I was so personally moved, and I've never stopped since. Now don't get me wrong, there have been the odd days here and there where I've been in a rush in the morning or whatnot and I've not had time to pray, but for the most part I have been praying almost every single morning, and it's a beautiful way to start the day, especially because I am someone who loves to pray in terms of focusing around gratitude. And so starting my morning giving thanks through prayer, beautiful. I love it so much. So anyway, I am, like I have mentioned, very, very tired. I think I almost feel like I've got heat stroke, like I'm very, all over the place. So I am going to enjoy what is left of my weekend, which is only a few hours before bedtime. It's 6:15, so at some stage I'll have to organize dinner. And then, I don't know, I feel like tomorrow I'll have to talk to you all about the play yesterday, although I think this vlog is probably too long already. If I don't talk to you about it in this vlog, I'll definitely talk about it in the next vlog, but yes, it's a few hours before I have to go to bed, so I'm going to try and do my best to read as much as I can. I think I'm up to chapter 6. I'm in chapter 6 at the moment. So when you look at it, it looks like I haven't read much at all. But this is like a 900-page book. So being in chapter 6 isn't too bad at all, considering I've been reading it in and amongst a work week. However, thank you all for watching. I shall see you all tomorrow.
Oh.
And the garden is all nice and clean, and look how this looks now with the sun shining. After the time I've now spent in the garden this morning, the sun has come out more and it is glistening now. And to finish my Monday morning, outside routine anyway, the duck coop, I know you can't see it perfectly like that, but the duck coop is now rehayed and freshly cleaned up for them. Good afternoon, everyone. I did it again. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day, guys. Today is officially St. Patrick's Day. Hence, I am still in all green. Yesterday, of course, my family celebrated because it was the weekend. And so we celebrate on the closest weekend day to the actual date, which is today. And yesterday, if you saw the short that I've already uploaded, today is Monday, happy Monday. So by the time you see this vlog, I'm not sure how long it'll have been since I uploaded the short of my outfit for St. Patrick's Day. I did ask in that video what you guys thought of the tartan headband that I had in that video. This is also a similar style, obviously just a different color, but the padded, the high top headband look. I'm trying really hard to wear it with this outfit, but for some reason, I just think it looks ridiculous on me. But then I see other people wearing them and I think they look so nice. So anyway, can you tell me what you think, please? But before I rush off for work today, here is my outfit, a green teachery dress. We're going to pretend that these are all shamrocks all over my dress and not tiny little flowers. But however, I think it's lovely nonetheless. My ivory sandals to match the ivory floral detailing, and then of course, I've got to have some little festive, fun green earrings today for work. I love wearing my green jewelry in general, like I did yesterday, but I like wearing the more fun, comical jewelry, like these little leprechaun hats, when I'm working with kids, for teaching, when I've got kids, because I think, they enjoy it. And that's also just an excuse because I enjoy it. But anyway, this is my outfit. And just... look at this. Oh, okay. We're going to force the issue, because the way I see it is if I force the issue, maybe then I will know for sure whether it's just a me thing. Maybe I'm just not used to me wearing things like this, and the more I push through, the more it will look less ridiculous. I don't know. But if that doesn't go away, then that means it genuinely just does look ridiculous on me. However, let's get back to what I wanted to tell you today. Yesterday, when I was filming, which I don't know if that was in the previous vlog or if it's in this vlog. I actually don't know at this point. I'm so behind on my editing. I have something in my eye. I mentioned to you guys yesterday that I was going to tell you how the premiere went on Saturday night. So it was called Marvelous, a parody. So I need to get whatever this is out of my eye. I don't know what that was. It was a parody on the Marvel universe. And now I don't know if it was meant in an insulting way, because there were a lot of people in the audience there fully dressed up in support and love for Marvel. So I'm a bit confused by that, because I would, assume that parody implies that it's a mockery. However, I clearly didn't know what I was being invited to, because when I got there, I had a chat with the guy who invited me, and I had kind of previously let him know a few things about myself. This will all make sense in a minute. And so he came up and had a quick chat with me and warned me about what I was about to head into. Okay. Anyway, I walked in and it turns out that I went to a rather risque event. And there was a lot of nudity. I am very prude. And it was rather confronting, because I'm a bit of a gobshite, and I didn't do my research properly. And fair is fair. That show was full of an incredible amount of talent. When I tell you the acrobatics and their voices, their singing voices in general, it was wonderful. And the set, the props, magnificent. Like, they really was a work of art. Like, it was wonderful. However, it just wasn't entirely my cup of tea with the kind of displays. But all in all, I'm still honored and touched that I had my first ever red carpet experience. And in a week from today, actually, I'll get to have my second one. I am really grateful that I got invited. I just, upon reflection, I'm kind of like, next time something says on the ticket a risque event, you should probably Google it, Berna, and figure out for yourself what that actually means. I didn't fully understand the depth and fully appreciate the level of intensity the event was going to have. But anyway, I have put in, even though they did originally say not to film anything, but because I was invited as a content creator, the guy that invited me asked me to film snippets. So I have been able to put in a few little bits and pieces of that event here and there, which, like I mentioned, was either in this vlog or the previous vlog. Who knows? Because at the moment I don't. Anyway, like I mentioned, it is a Monday, so I need to head off to work, and you won't know this at the time when you're watching this video, but I will see you all tonight when I upload my photos from St. Patrick's Day. But by the time you guys see this video, they will have already long been uploaded. Don't judge me, but I took the headband off. I have just finished editing the next vlog for you all, and which I'm so far behind in editing. I think I'm already 2 vlogs ahead of filming that have yet to even be edited. So there's 2 vlogs ready to go out now, thanks to my editing, and there's another 2 that I've still yet to vlog, and I'm here. I think I just talk too much, and so I try to aim for the half-hour mark in each vlog, but sometimes I'm talking so much, especially now with all the Lenten program stuff, that it's just filling up so quickly. Anyway, maybe a few vlogs might have to be a little bit longer. Who knows? For today's Lenten program, before I start work, I better move very quickly. St. Patrick's Day, Monday the 17th of March. So it begins, go say whatever I command you, do not be afraid. We can waste so much time living in fear. Oh, that's so true. First line. Oh my gosh. Fear is an easy trap to fall into, the force that binds and robs us and those around us of the new life God offers. It silences the words of hope we are called to speak and stifles the acts of love he continually promotes us to share. Fear is not part of God's plan for us. Instead, our Lord calls us to place ourselves under the freedom of his love and mercy, equipped by God to be a light to the world under the power of the Holy Spirit. The fear that God is calling Jeremiah out of clearly is part of the human condition. We see time and again the need to overcome fear in the lives of the Old and New Testament heroes and the lives of the saints. When they do, God can freely and powerfully use them to serve the boldness and incredible impact. Oh, yes. I know in my own life the antidote to fear is an encounter with the perfect love of God, which drives out all fear. It is this perfect love that enables us to live with courage, knowing that not just who we are with all our unique gifts, but whose we are, sons and daughters of Almighty God. It is this type of knowing and being known that enables us to be courageous and respond to God's promptings. Lord, you daily long for me to dive into the exciting adventure of living as a missionary disciple. Transform my fears through encounters with your perfect love. Replace fear with boldness and trust. St. Patrick, fearless lover of God and proclaimer of the freedom that comes through Jesus, pray for me. Amen. Jude Hennessy. That was really nice. That was really nice. And that's something that I can't yap on too much about right now. But again, yet again, so fitting, because I definitely am driven by fear of so many things, but I cannot digress with you all right now. I need to head off to work. I mean, I'm at work. I mean, get ready for my student.